offense or Detroit defense?
All right, I realized shortly ago, even though I think I suggested this question, this is a dumb question. Because all of us, I think we're going to be unanimous. We all believe in the Washington offense more than the Detroit defense. Washington offense awesome, Detroit defense no good. Now I think Detroit is going to win anyway, but I think Detroit is the team they looked like the month leading up to the Sam Darnold game. I don't think that the strategy against Sam Darnold is going to work against Jaden. Mm-hmm. I think the offense is going to be able to overcome it. Like, I believe in that Detroit's advantage when they have the ball is greater than Washington's advantage when they have the ball.
Sure.
But I think Washington has an A- offense and Detroit's got a C- defense given the injuries. So definitely Washington offense, even if I think Detroit's going to win the game. So I apologize for maybe presenting a dumb question.
No, I'm with Nick. I want to see what the Detroit guys say. But, yeah, I mean, close to the second half of the season, these are the quarterbacks that Detroit's defenses look good against. Sam Darnold, Anthony Richardson, and Mac Jones.
So no.
That's
true?
it. Yeah, those are ones they've looked good against.
Oh, everyone else scored like
Caleb,
30 plus.
I'm not dissing Caleb Williams, but he's a rookie. But he threw for 300 yards and some touchdowns against their defense.
That was a little bit of I don't know.
They scored, I think, 14 in the first half. They got down. But Washington's offense, I know a lot of people will say, well, they played well against bad teams for the most part. But when they played Philadelphia, and Jalen got hurt in that game, so yes, the Philly offense was different, but the defense was the same. It was their great defense that we just saw shut down J-Lo, all right? And they scored 36 points on them. So this offense is legit. I'm with Nick. I think Detroit still wins, but I got more faith in Washington's offense.
I'm actually going to go with Detroit's defense.
Wow.
And because I am the Detroit guy.
Sure. Me too.
Truly.
He's a real Detroit guy.
But when you think about giving a team a bye and getting fresh, and you have guys on defense like Kirby Joseph who anticipates schemes, tries to jump plays, the style of offense that Washington play, I love Jaden Daniels and what he's been able to do. Cliff Kingsbury is to get a tremendous amount of credit. But Aaron Glenn even says it, it's pretty simplified. I don't want to call it basic. It's simplified. And when you have players that take chances and identify, I'm going to jump this one. If I see this formation, I'm going to jump. There's going to be opportunities where I just believe Detroit will take advantage of it. If they just got to, kind of like what I said about Patrick Mahomes, you got to have a tremendous amount of lane integrity because Detroit doesn't get a tremendous pass rush. So if you don't get home, you better stay in your lanes because this young man can break you down quick.
Okay. This whole idea that it's like simplified or this, that, that's a bad thing. Again, I've talked about this months ago at this point now. Greg Cosell has talked about this. Like, that is the objective of every single offensive coordinator or offensive head coach for that matter in the NFL, to do that for their quarterback. To make everything as simple and as clear and obvious as they can for their quarterback. Like, that is the goal. And again, Cliff Kingsbury has run this offense in a way that has been highly efficient and highly successful. So this idea that is somehow kind of like a bad thing or that it can be exploited, then why was it not exploited? Why was it not exploited by the Philadelphia Eagles in that second game? Fangio doesn't know? I don't understand. Fangio doesn't know what he's doing? A top Philadelphia Eagles defense doesn't know what they're doing? So that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. It really doesn't. And again, I believe in Washington's offense more than Detroit's defense. But I agree. That's why this is a silly question because it doesn't mean that I'm saying that the Commanders are going to win now. That's not what I'm saying either. Or I'm not saying that I don't have belief in the Detroit Lions or what they're capable of doing. But if we had to pick, if you were backed up against the corner, you would believe in the Washington offense more than the Detroit defense, and that's not really shocking. I think you could even be a massive Detroit Lions fan, and you could admit that. Now, you believe that your offense is way better than both the Washington Commanders defense and offense, and therefore you win. That's a totally acceptable perspective and point of view. But with this game as well, and what Washington wants to do and what Detroit wants to do. Yeah, some of these conversations have kind of just gotten a little wonky, but with Detroit Lions, the hardest part about what Bruce said, to kind of dissect what Bruce said for a second as well, like, oh, they went up against Mac Jones and AR and Sam Darnold and stuff like that. One, I don't think Sam Darnold turned into a pumpkin, so I think that was still kind of impressive, but I will confess that when you have 2 bad games versus the Lions and the Rams back-to-back weeks, I think it does take away a little bit of the shine of Detroit. I think if Sam Darnold balled out and played great against the Rams and won, that would have made the Detroit Lions' performance defensively look even better. You know, that's just my view. It's not to say that they still didn't play good, they didn't do what they needed to do. It's not that at all. But also the same thing when they played great against the Green Bay Packers, and it's like Jordan Love has been kind of all over the place. That offense in general has been all over the place. But that's not even really the story. The story is actually more that the Lions are getting healthier on defense. And it really is hard. That's why I kind of stay away from injuries in terms of like how it impacts games, because I fundamentally don't know. And no one does. And it's so hard. Like, let's just say you have 5 great defenders and one of them is down. And it's like, okay, I don't know what that does for your defense. Now 2 of them goes down, 3, 4, 5. It's like, okay, I know that your defense is going to be hurting now. Like, that's as confident as I get with that. But now, okay, you're missing 5 defenders, but now you get 2 of them back. You get 1 and 4 back. Okay, what does that mean? I don't know what that means especially when you start trickling and getting little by little healthier. It's like, okay, what does that mean? Are we gonna see another big jump now? Because I've actually defended the Lions defense actually from the jump. Because from the beginning of the season, people tried to act like the Detroit Lions defense was like this big liability. And I was like, that doesn't really bear out to the reality. Like, how true is that? And I defended it. Then they kind of had their injuries. And I was like, yeah, this definitely hurts you, but it doesn't mean that this is all over. Everyone kept saying like, oh, this is over, it's done. And I was like, I don't think that's the case either. And then especially when they really piled on their injuries, I was like, I'm going to be honest, I don't know what this means. I really don't. I don't know how to even rank the Lions. I think when we were playing the whole rankings, I was like, I got to put the Lions on the outside because, like, I don't know. There's too many injuries. I don't know how to make sense of it. I'm pretty sure the Lions are trying to figure out how to make sense of it. So who am I to be able to make sense of it? And now that they're getting healthier week to week, it's just like, I don't know. I don't know how to evaluate it. But even if the Detroit Lions defense was full strength, relatively speaking, as much as you could be in this situation, I still believe in what the Washington Commanders offense can do and will do. Because I think it is a highly efficient, highly run offense that I think Cliff Kingsbury is an awesome offensive mind. And again, Detroit Lions fans should be like open to that because they have Ben Johnson. Like, they know what it's like. They see it right there. And Jaden Daniels is truly a special quarterback. Now, do the Washington Commanders have enough firepower? Do they have enough players that can step up in this moment? We're going to find out. We're going to find out. I think really at the end of the day, the only guy that we truly know, and I'm probably missing another person, but it's the one that always keeps coming to my mind, is Zach Ertz. Like, he's the one, like, in a Super Bowl, stepped up, had huge catches, 4th down. I mean, like, he is the one that's like really, maybe out of that entire team, and Commanders fans who know that team, even, who really know the pieces more than me, like, I feel like Zach Ertz is probably really the only one that has truly shown his worth in the highest moment. And so I get that, but at the same time, it's like, do that for the Lions as well then. But yeah, that's why this game, and I tried to just look it up, and it's too hard. When I tried to like go through the roster and be like, who's played in Super Bowls, who's won, who hasn't, and it's too much of a mess. I thought I could Google it and it would be like a lot easier. It would be like, and it would just give me some of the names, and it doesn't. So that's why for you guys who like deeply know every single person on that roster, feel free to let me know in the comments below. But yeah, I think this game has the potential to be really interesting and surprising for many, many different ways, and for many different reasons. So I see a lot of clear paths for both teams, both offenses, both defenses, etc. But either way, I think this game will be really exciting. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Minnesota Vikings, about the Washington Commanders? Who do you trust more, the Washington Commanders offense or the Detroit Lions defense? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, Let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here. Absolutely love to be part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.